I do. Welcome in, everybody. Star Wars Galaxies of Heroes, day by day. Today is the 28th of March, April. Have you guys seen the news? Apparently, people like Revenge of the Sith. People like good storytelling. People like good stories. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing. And that's what I've been arguing the whole time. This is what this is what theory has been arguing the whole time. This is what everybody who loves Star Wars, who loves entertainment in general, this is what everybody has been arguing the whole time. There's this movie that maybe you have not heard of. It's called Nefarious. And it came out, did it come out last year? I think it came out around this time last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. No, maybe it was last year. Um, and I'm not going to spoil any of it, but it's an excellent story. There are a lot of movies that just tell excellent stories. Like, there are movies that you just fall in love with because of the story. Like, that's the original reason why we fell in love with A New Hope, with Empire, with Jedi, was because of the story. It's the reason why we were clamoring for the prequels for so long, because of the story. And you know, people, I mean, I don't know your thoughts on the Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is fine, it's whatever. It's a good movie. I have not actually gone back and finished watching all over Attack of the Clones, but I remember the first time I watched it, I loved it because it was like I had no idea what to expect. And then Revenge of the Sith, it's like the whole premise. I mean, it's like people think people have Star Wars fatigue. No, they don't. They don't. I mean, there's no Marvel fatigue. There's no superhero fatigue. We want good story fatigue. It's called we don't want your ham-fisted attempt to make a couple of bucks off of us by squeezing in stuff that doesn't need to be squeezed in. We want you to tell a good story. It's amazing. It's how oral tradition. It's how civilizations have been built throughout the years. Is good storytelling, and it's like, how do you not understand that it's about the story? I mean, think about the shows that you watched. Think about the shows you love. I mean, outside of sitcoms, and even some sitcoms, they can be good. It's like you wouldn't watch, I don't know, whatever you think of as a good sitcom. You wouldn't sit there and watch it if the story wasn't compelling, if it didn't make you laugh. You would continue to watch it. I know I don't watch shows that I don't find compelling, that don't make me laugh, that aren't well written. It's part of the reason why I'm like, why I was like, why I was so sort of mad on the first episodes of Andor, because I'm like, where's the story? You had Cassian still, he's still. I mean, spoilers, but it's been like 2 weeks, so get over it. If you haven't seen it, but steals a ship, and then basically nothing, not a lot happens end of episode 3, and it's supposed to happen, and it happens apparently over the course of 2 weeks, and I guess this wedding thing happened over the course of 2 weeks or something, and it's like that's 1 year, and that's a story you're telling, and it's like okay, but this week, and for me, it's tomorrow. That's when I'm going to get episode 5, 4, 5, and 6. It better be good. It better be great. Because if it's not, you could be headed towards Acolyte's territory. You could be headed toward whatever territory. You could be headed for. It's like you don't. If the story is good, there's nothing to worry about. If the story's good, you don't have anything to worry about. It's like when you put your own agenda in. Like I know that Netflix is developing a series based on the Chronicles of Narnia, and the person heading it up, I believe, is the person that made the Barbie movie. And if you know anything about the Chronicles of Narnia, it was written by a man named Clive Staples Lewis, otherwise known as C.S. Lewis, who was a friend of J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings. And Narnia is a book series that I grew up on. It's a young adult series, so a lot of people poo-poo it, but it's a very dear to me, and I don't want to see it destroyed by whatever, because it's an important story. And if you know about the history of the Chronicles of Narnia, it's basically more or less the story of Christianity. And I don't want to see somebody come in and make the mark when the original source material is great. And the original source material does what it's supposed to do. And it's like there's so much good source material. I have been around the moon talking about Heirs of the Empire. And you guys know this if you listen to it. You know how much I love Mara Jade. You know how much I want her in canon. And it's like that is a great source material. And I realized that they've gone down a road with Ahsoka and Thrawn and all this and whatever. But you could bring Mara Jade in and she could be great. Because that's what people want. People want great. People want compelling storytelling. They don't want all this garbage. They want a compelling story about a galaxy that takes place in a galaxy far, far away that makes them feel things, that makes them feel alive, that makes them feel like they do when they watch A New Hope. Like they do when they watch Empire or Jedi the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, or Revenge of the Sith. They want that feeling. They don't want the ham-fisted nonsense of, what we got with, some other stuff. People poo-poo the Bad Batch. I felt stuff when I watched the Bad Batch. It was great. I felt stuff when I watched Andor season 1. I think we all felt something when we watched Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and that's the reason why we were so disappointed by Mandalorian season 3. And to some degree, the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka season 1. It's because instead of telling a good story, they were probably too worried about other factors that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the factors are there or not, if the story's good, because the story is the thing. Stories to people, you can ham-fist in or interject whatever you want in anything, as long as the story's good. Because there's a certain number of people that, hey, if they hear that this movie contains this, well, they're not going to watch it on principle. But there's a whole slew of people that, hey, if the story's good enough, you don't have to worry about any of that. Because if the story's good enough, people will go and see the movie regardless. And this is what we got. This is what we gotten away from. And it's the reason that, I don't know, that I'm guessing Disney Star Wars is going to end up making the money off of this. And, it's nothing they did except for buy the franchise from George. But this is George's film. This is George's work. And you can make the profits off of it, but buy it, but take the lesson from the fact that it's making this kind of money. And it's a 25-year-old movie. Or no, it's not 25. It's 20. It's 20, right? 20. It's 20. It's 20. It's a 20-year-old movie. Because it's not complicated. You don't have to spend all this money on Andor. And these first three these first three episodes didn't have to be absolute garbage. They could have spent it. They could have spent what they spent on those 4 episodes of it, the 3 episodes of Andor, and made an entire season. As long as the story was good, it would have kicked butt. And so I get worried when I hear that Ahsoka's bringing Ewan back and Hayden back and Natalie back and all these people. Because it doesn't matter if the story's good. If the story's good, you don't have to worry about if it's good, because if you think about the original Heir to the Empire books, would people care as much? Would people want Mara Jade as much as they do? If the original Heir to the Empire books that Timothy Zahn wrote in the 90s, would people want any of them? Would people want a Grand Admiral Thrawn if the original Heir to the Empire series sucked? Would they? I don't know. It doesn't have to be like this. I said it. I said that back on election night. It doesn't have to be like this. Nothing in this world has to be like this. It doesn't have to be this hard. All these people just making crap harder for why? It's like our lives. We make stuff harder. I make stuff hard all the time. I'm sure you do. Because it's our very nature. But it's like this past weekend, the whole thing that happened with a certain draft. It wasn't because Shador wasn't a good quarterback, but it's because he didn't interview well. Because he made life harder on himself. And it's like, it didn't have to be this way, Shador. It didn't have to be this way, Andor. It doesn't have to be this way, Kathy. Kathy, people would forgive you if you just told a story. If you just looked at Revenge of the Sith, if you just looked at the first 6 films and you said, what is it about this franchise that people love? Spoiler alert, it's that it tells a good story. Nobody would know what Jedi was if A New Hope sucked, which is why all these quizzes about what's the best Star Wars movie. Spoiler alert, it's the first one, A New Hope, because if it didn't do well, it doesn't matter. It's sort of like, who's the best president? Washington. Why? Because he wasn't good. There wouldn't be another one. Good story in A New Hope. Good story in Empire. Good story in Jedi. Amazing. Good story. That's all it is. That's all it is. I don't know what happened. I've just been talking about Revenge of the Sith, and I think it's an important conversation to have. I don't have anything to do because I did everything when I was talking about Revenge of the Sith. So anyway, let me know what you think. Kathy, good story. Favreau, good story. Write a good story, Favreau. Write a good story. Filoni, write a good story. That's all people care about. Make us feel things. That's it. Anyway, bless you all. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. Hold the line. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.